All right, well, I'm just gonna say it. These are by far the best recreational paddles I've used on the market today. So if you're brand new to stand-up paddleboarding, or maybe you've been a recreational paddleboarder for a little bit of time now, but have still have yet to invest into a quality paddle, then these are the paddles you're going to want to look into. An unfortunate mistake that many beginner paddlers make is not investing into a quality paddle up front. Using lower grade paddles that are made out of aluminum shafts, nylon plastic blades, or other cheap plastic parts will not only cause more harm to your body, but also be a worse investment as they don't last very long and tend to break very often. This unfortunately leads to many beginner paddlers giving up on the sport too early. Maybe because their cheap paddle broke and they never invested into a higher quality paddle like these ones, or maybe their paddle just really caused a lot of damage or harm to their body, so they just give up because they're using a lower grade paddle. There are many reasons like these that can lead to people just giving up on the sport. That's not what we want to happen to you. That's why Black Project SUP has put so much time and effort into creating higher quality paddles like these ones at a lower price point so that beginner paddlers like you can get a quality paddle in their hands. So with that, today we're taking a look at the 3 recreational paddles that Black Project SUP has to offer you, and those are the Pure, the Ohana, and the Lava paddle. But before we dive into these paddles, I'm gonna take off my sweatshirt really quick because it's getting hot out here.
A few moments later.
Whew, that is so much better. All right, let's take a look at an overview of these 3 paddles. And what's great is that even though these paddles are priced at 3 different price points, with the cheapest being the Pure, moving your way up to the Ohana and to the Lava, is that they're all made with a similar design. Each one of these paddles is going to come equipped with their scooped dehydro blade technology, and that is super nice to have because it provides you with a super amazing catch and grasp the water when you're paddling along, as well as it helps eliminate that lateral blade movement. Each one of these paddles is going to be constructed with a certain percentage of carbon fiber in the paddle blade, the shaft, and even the handle. This is super nice because one is going to make the paddle be lighter in your hands, as well as going to help it perform much better. Along with that, if you're using the adjustable version of any one of these paddles, you're going to get their anti-twist technology, which is super nice to have because when you're raising and lowering your paddle height, you don't have to worry about the shaft getting twisted at all as you're raising or lowering it. I personally have used several other adjustable paddles out there that don't have this design, and it's very inconvenient because every time you get done adjusting your paddle height, you then have to look down your paddle shaft to make sure your handle is still flat with the blade at the bottom. So by having that anti-twist design, you don't have to worry about your handle getting twisted at all as you're adjusting your paddle height. And then lastly, with each one of these paddles, you can choose to get their ergonomic grip, which is super comfortable and nice for using when you're paddling around. All right, now let's talk about some differences between these paddles to help you decide which one is best suited for you. And we're gonna start things off with this Pure paddle, which is the cheapest entry paddle option we have here today. This paddle is constructed with their Reflex Carbon 35 UD medium flex shaft, which provides you a really quality performing paddle at a cheaper price point. Now because this paddle does have a lower amount of carbon fiber mixed in with the fiberglass, it is going to be a little bit heavier paddle in comparison to these other 2 paddles today. But at the same time, this paddle is lighter than other cheaper paddles out there that are made with an aluminum shaft or a nylon plastic blade. So because this paddle is made out of higher quality materials and out of carbon fiber, it allows the paddle to be lighter than those lower grade paddles on the market. When it comes simply to just the overall feel of this entry-level paddle, it feels like you got a quality paddle in your hands, as well as this shaft provides good amount of grip for your hands to hold on to as well, and you don't have to worry about your hands slipping or sliding while holding on to it. When it comes to just simply the overall performance of this entry-level paddle, it actually does pretty well. Now I will say these other 2 paddles do perform at a little bit higher level because of their construction materials, but for what this paddle is, and being an entry-level paddle, it does super well. The shaft still has a good amount of flex in it, providing you with great performance as well as helping protect your body. And as we talked about earlier, the paddle blade design has the same design as the other 2 paddles, so you're still getting a great catch with your paddle stroke as well. So if you're someone who's brand new to stand-up paddleboarding, or if you're someone on a very tight budget, this is the best entry paddle for you to consider. All right, now let's move on to talking about the Ohana paddle here, which is the next step up from the Pure paddle. And with this paddle, it's constructed with the Reflex Carbon 60 UD construction with the medium flex shaft. So with this paddle, you're getting a higher percentage of that carbon fiber in the construction in comparison to the Pure paddle. Because of that, it actually makes this paddle even lighter than the Pure paddle, which is super nice because as you're paddling around, you can save more energy carrying a lighter paddle in your hands. Along with that as well is that you will get a little bit higher performing flex in the shaft, so as you're paddling along, you will notice that difference. When it comes to just the overall feel of this paddle, once again, it feels great in your hands and it feels just like you got a quality product, which I love. Also, as I talked about earlier, this paddle is lighter than the Pure paddle, so because of that, it feels super nice to carry around the hands and to paddle with. And then last but not least, we have our lava paddle here, and this is the most expensive paddle out of these three paddles today, but it's also the highest performing paddle as well. This paddle shaft is constructed once again with the Reflex Carbon design, but now you're getting 90% carbon, which makes this paddle by far the lightest paddle we have here today. When it comes to the flex in this paddle shaft, it performs absolutely incredible. No matter what type of paddle boarding I'm doing on the water, this provides me with great performance. As well, for those longer distance paddles, I do get a little bit more flex out of this paddle shaft, which is great because it helps protect my body for those longer times spent on the water. So if you're someone who wants the best all-around recreational paddle, this is by far the best option for you to consider. So at the end of the day, no matter if you're someone who's on a tight budget or if you're someone who's looking for a paddle upgrade, these are some great options for you to consider. These paddles perform so well in a variety of conditions. No matter if you're going paddling in flat water, paddling in the ocean, doing some SUP surfing, or even just going touring, these paddles do so well in the recreational side of things. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you're interested in learning more about any one of these paddles, be sure to go check them out on Black Project SUP's website.